here we go again with our favorite genre, Isekai. Oh, by the way, today's video is brought to you by Talify, an innovative narrative platform where users can shape AI-generated stories with their choices. Explore a vast library of pre-made stories across genres like romance, slice of life, thrillers, fantasy, sci-fi, and action. If you're feeling creative, try the custom story mode, where you can craft your own novel from scratch. Design characters, develop the plot, and immerse yourself in a fully personalized experience. Click that link in the bio to get 100 free credits added to your account. Anyway, fasten your seatbelts, throw all the common sense in the trash can, and let's go. Number 10. Isekai Onsen Paradise. So, if you ever visited Japan, there's a beautiful thing called onsen, aka public bathhouses or hot springs. We have almost negligible anime related to this concept, so great creators from the industry thought, why not merge this concept with the overpowered isekai genre? And well, they created this. So the plot is this: a hot spring obsessed guy dies and finds himself in a new world. Now he finds a hot spring there and slowly starts creating his harem. The end. Oh, you know, how could we forget some fan service? And jokes apart, this experiment to mix two different things like isekai and onsen ended up very poorly. Well, there are some good things about this show. I mean, like characters and jiggle physics. Come on, guys. Things like that's always important in anime. So should you watch it? I mean, if you like what you're seeing on the screen, wink wink, why not? And number 9, The New Gate. If you're thinking about the previous Gate series, yeah, that harem one with all those cute girls, then sorry to break it to you guys, but this is a bit different. To be honest, it's more like SAO bought from AliExpress. Yeah, I mean, that still doesn't really sound right. Anyway, a bunch of gamers get stuck in a VR MMO where if you die in the real world. Now, you might be wondering, honest, are you sure you're not talking about SAO? Well, yeah, my weebs, because this anime starts when the protagonist clears the game and sends everyone out. Okay, it's twist time. So when he tries to log out, he gets magically transferred to the game world 500 years in the future. So what now? Well, like every isekai norm, he has to find a way to return to his world. I know it sounds pretty mediocre, but hey, you know, that's totally fine. You know, once a legend said, every anime doesn't have to be perfect. If you're entertained, the purpose is achieved. Number 8. I was reincarnated as the 7th prince so I can take my time perfecting my magical ability. So, all the Lolly Shota fans, raise your hands because I've got something interesting for you. I mean, you can't call it interesting. Anyway, so a psychopath die-hard sorcerer is reborn as a 10-year-old noble. Okay, what next? Well, to be honest, nothing. He just wants to learn more and more magic. So he has all the girls obsess over him for the first episode, and he gets himself that female feel. Yeah, the creators were definitely on something when they made this, so I'll get straight to the point. Half of the time, he's shown blushing and making weird faces. Why? Because any new magic he sees makes him excited. And creators, can we talk about character design? Why does a 10-year-old have thick thighs? I know. Jokes apart, this anime is just a brainless, decent isekai anime out there, with some good fight animations and comedic elements. I mean, it has the potential to reach the Konosuba level of dumbness. Number 7. Remonster. Brother, Once upon a time, in some twisted parallel world or some shady edging websites, a weird adult anime launched about goblins and women. So some creators decided to make it official and made this. Yeah, so our main character reincarnates as a goblin with some weird OP abilities. What kind of abilities? Well, you can pretty much copy any ability of the individual upon eating it. And it's kind of dark. So should you guys watch it? I mean, if you like the concept of a goblin creating his harem, why not? I mean, if you're on the side of a goblin slayer, I recommend staying away from this. And jokes apart, I was a little skeptical of how they were going to show all those scenes, especially because the source material was just brutal. What scenes? Well, you know, we're not going to talk about that just to protect the monetization of this channel. So it turns out they completely revamped the scenes and made it more suitable for everyone. In the end, I suggest you watch this at your own risk. Number 6, a salad bowl of eccentrics. There are very few detective shows in the industry, and I mean, I'm not talking about the obvious ones. There are some which just go under the radar. This, I can say, is one of them. So a young detective is struggling to make ends meet, and surprise, surprise, a princess falls from another world. Now, if you're a sensible person, what would you think? I'm struggling to make money, so I shouldn't increase the amount of mouths to feed. But no, this doesn't apply to this anime's logic, and he ends up helping her. As you can all guess, this anime is just silly. Absolutely just silly. I mean, despite being a show about detectives, this is more lighthearted and comedic. You know, there are very few good reverse isekai shows out there, and this could be one of them. I mean, only time will tell. Don't get me wrong, it has potential with all of this silliness and characters. So at least what we can do is give it some love. It sure needs it right now. Number 5. As a reincarnated aristocrat, I'll use my skills to rise in the world. Being reincarnated with OP, completely game-breaking powers is common in anime. But how about reincarnating with normal powers? Well, I know it's not sounding exciting at all, but at least hear me out. So a guy dies and gets reincarnated as an aristocrat in another world. He gets some abilities of seeing other people's potential and skills. So what does he do next? He recruits every overpowered character to his side. I mean, yeah, what else could he do? I guess we're so used to completely overpowered characters that some normal powers don't sound very fascinating anymore. Well, I hope at least you tried to change your perspective. So is it worth your time? I mean, it's an isekai anime, yeah, it has stats and a potential good main character, ticking all the boxes. I can pretty much say, yeah, it is worth your time. He's not a pervert like other shows, I hope you know what I mean, but hey, that doesn't mean it's bad. Number 4, chillin' in another world with level 2 super cheap power. So we have another isekai show. I mean, this video's all about isekai shows, so what'd you expect, right? So this time, a guy gets summoned to another world as a hero to defeat the Demon King. So when they check his stats, they see a weird mark and think he's just average. But little do they know that that mark is actually infinity, and he's pretty much invincible. So what does the kingdom do? They throw him out to die. But our guy's no coward. He faces every challenge and even tames a demonic beast, which turns out to be a beautiful girl, because anime. And she's pretty much obsessed with him. Nice. If you have nothing new to watch and want to quench that overpowered MC thirst, I recommend watching this one. Yeah, there's nothing new, but at least it's not absolute trash. Number 3, an archdemon's dilemma. Wait, honest, why is there a fantasy anime here? This is a list of isekai anime. Where are the remaining shows? I lied. I planned this from the start, to mix some fantasy shows in with the isekai. all under your nose. Well, that's a plot twist I bet you never expected. So a powerful sorcerer goes to an auction and immediately falls in love with an elf girl. Big surprise. He spends his entire life earning and buys her. Things people do for love. But there's a problem. He doesn't know how to talk to her, as he's never talked with a cute girl his entire life. I know what you must be thinking. Honest, it sounds very familiar to Ancient Magnus Bride, blah blah blah. Well, you're right. Except this is much more laid back. I can see a good romance show growing from this, so while the fans of the romance genre, you got something to look forward to. Aren't you glad about that plot twist now? Number 2, Blue Archives, the animation.
Meow.
So there's a popular game by the same name. I don't know if you guys have heard of it or not, but it is quite popular. So the anime is set in a town where everything is divided into different prefectures with their own rules. And yeah, did I mention that it's a high school anime where different students attack each other? We meet 5 students from Abydos High School, which is about to close, and they're having a very desperate situation. But like a shining angel comes Sensei, who's here to guide them. I know you guys are probably scratching your heads hearing all the blabbering I'm doing. I'm not going to blame you for that. It's kind of difficult to understand the plot of the show. You just have to watch it later to better understand all the gibberish I just said. So if you're on the internet searching for action and also want that mystery dopamine boost, well, you got a good anime. But as for how much you like it, it depends totally on you. Number 1, Spice and Wolf.
そんなものはない。大地、お前は何者？
Honest, why are you still doing this? You could at least give us an anime that's an isekai in the number 1 spot. Well, to be honest with you, I mean, we've got a current season of Slime, we got Konosuba and Mushoku Tensei. So, to be honest, I was bored doing the same anime recommendations again and again. I, 1, don't think it's fun to write about, and 2, you guys deserve better. So let's spice things up with Spice and Wolf. And, you know, totally not intended pun. So this show is a remake of the classic anime by the same name. I know some of you must have already watched it growing up, and I'm glad that they recreated this. Today's new generation should experience this masterpiece in its full glory. So this anime follows a wolf deity and a traveling merchant. Much like Frieren, this anime focuses on slow adventures and world building. Now, is it for you? I mean, yeah, it was a major part of me growing up, and I would highly recommend the new watchers to at least go through this adventure once. See, even I, honest, can speak good about an anime sometimes. But seriously, go watch it. It's good. So there you have it. How'd you like the little plot twist I did in between? I know you guys weren't expecting that. As usual, do the usual YouTube stuff, like this video and subscribe to our channel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.